Welcome to The Drive with Lauren and Karl. This week we have a very special guest, Al Vazquez, who is a returning guest, and he is the #1 Spanish automotive content creator, and we're glad to have you with us. Al, how are you doing?
Doing good. Here in Miami, it's very warm but beautiful. So I'm doing good.
Karl, how's it going there in California?
Also very warm. I think that's the theme right now across a lot of the country and even in Europe. I was on a German call earlier today and they were saying it was warm there, except they don't have air conditioning like we do. So
Yeah,
That's
the
right.
blessings of air conditioning. Oh, the three of
yes.
us were just together last week discussing and driving and test driving the brand new 2027 Kia Seltos, which I'm calling the tiny Telluride.
Yep, that
And
works. And I like the small Celluride. That works too.
oh,
But
I
yes.
like that too. So, Al, what did you think of the car?
I think every company should have a car that is below $25,000. This is a little bit more to start, but every company should have a car that anybody can afford. I think this is the car for them. And when you get inside, it has a lot of space. I really liked it. I thought it was a good car for the price.
I think they did a good job
Agreed.
making it have the technology that people want without it being over the top, and two gas-powered engines, one regular gas, one turbocharged, and a hybrid coming very soon.
Yeah, it's a wide spectrum both of pricing, trim levels, features. And of course, they gave us the top line one was the one we were in most of the day. But I did drive that mid-grade EX, which
Mhm.
was really nice because just sitting in it, it looked like the top grade one. It had the same synthetic leather, it had the panoramic sunroof, and it was a chunk less. It was $31,805, I believe. And it was only front wheel drive, the CVT, the 2-liter non-turbocharged engine. That's going to work for most people. Let's be honest, guys, especially in Southern California. Most people aren't off-roading. They don't need the extra ground clearance and they don't need the rear wheel drive, the rear slash all-wheel drive. They don't need all four wheels helping. So for around 31,000 with the big sunroof and a lot of the other features, I thought that was a nice car. But we got a chance to speak while we were there to the vice president of marketing for Kia. That's Russell Wager. And we're going to have a great interview with him and hear what he has to say. Right, guys?
Yeah, I think he did a great job of bringing this car to market.
And many
Yeah,
people
he did.
ask about the CVT. And when I talk to everybody in Miami, CVT, they don't even know what it is. Even though
Yeah.
I mention it all the time, they don't. So they don't care. They don't know what it is. They don't care. That's it.
No, you're right. I think it works fine. Well, let's jump right into our interview with Russell Wager, the vice president at Kia for marketing. This segment is brought to you by iSeeCars.com, where I am the executive analyst, and we do a lot of great advice and shopper guidance for people who are looking for their next new or used car, plus all the listings across the country that you can see there. So iSeeCars.com, check it out, and let's check out our interview with Russell Wager from Kia.
Welcome back to The Drive with Lauren and Karl. I'm Karl Brauer.
And I'm Lauren Fix, and we have a very special guest with us, Russell Wager, who is vice president of marketing for Kia. And we just got a chance to drive the 2027 Kia Seltos, which I will call the tiny Telluride.
We're okay with that.
You're okay with that? Yeah, I bet you are.
Yeah, I like to call it the small Celluride because, again, it's got a lot of ties to their largest and I think maybe one of your most successful models. I mean, I know you have a lot of volume from some of your other compact SUVs, but in terms of volume plus profit, I'm betting the Telluride's pulling its own weight okay for the company.
Telluride's doing great. The new Telluride, as you mentioned, started sales at the beginning of this month or this year, and the Seltos started on sale last month. And we have people when they look, not everyone needs a full-size 3-row like Telluride, and this 2-row compact SUV is a great offering. And as you guys found out, it starts under $25,000, so it's attainable.
I think that's impressive. I think the price point is impressive, and you have a lot of competition out there, but I think you kind of looked at what they were doing and took it to the next step.
Yeah, this one is not a show car or a toy car. This has the capability. It has terrain mode. It has a lot of the safety features that people want, technologies, and again, it's a great package, and you got to drive it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I mean, just the experience of opening the door, because I think that's where people, look at the outside and it looks great. But when you open the door, that's where you live inside the car, and that big 30-inch screen was super impressive.
And a similar screen that's on the Telluride. So Telluride starts under 40,000, which is great. This one's under 25, and it's the same IP screen.
Well, let's go back to opening the door real quick because this thing has some special doors on it too. The new Seltos. I like the fact that even on the lower trims, it's got the kind of cool integrated flush doors that just pop out by pushing, very intuitively, and you open them. And on the higher trims, they pop out automatically as you approach the car and then shut automatically and lock as you walk away from the car. So that's a very good example, though, I think, Russell, of kind of the premium nature that you've kind of injected into what is otherwise typically thought of as just a small, compact SUV category that's not really known for plush kind of palatial features. But you got a giant sunroof, the panoramic sunroof on this thing. You've got the ability to stream Disney Plus and Netflix. And
in park, not while you're driving.
You've got the surround view cameras. Of course, I think standard on all of them is the smart cruise control with stop and go, right? Mm-hmm. So you can even deal with traffic jams very easily in the base model that starts at $25,000. So I think Kia's built kind of their well-deserved reputation on offering a lot for the money. And so once again, there's the base model that already seems incredibly well equipped. And then even the top end model, when you look at the price and what you're getting, starts to feel more like an entry luxury car.
And we haven't even talked about, because you guys didn't get to drive it yet, that we're going to be offering a hybrid model.
Oh, that's going to be big.
Later this year.
The hybrid's going to be huge because you have 2 gas engines available now.
Yes, right.
And I think once you add in the hybrid, and I'm hoping it'll even have more goodies on it, because I mean, wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, wireless charging, 3 USB-C charge ports in the front, 1 on each side of the seats. There's charge ports everywhere. There's even a regular car outlet in the glove box. So you really kind of thought about the things that people are using every day, because ABC always be charging, right?
You know what I loved? So I did the same drive with you guys, and I'm 6 foot tall. Mm-hmm. And in our previous generation, it was a little headroom issue, maybe a shoulder thing. No issue for me. No shoulder. I mean, it's bigger. It's spacier. The wheelbase is longer.
Yeah.
So it's just gotten bigger over the previous generation, which was great. But now it's gotten better.
So it's 2 inches bigger, right? So it gives you more space for the passengers. You have more cargo space than any of your competitors.
It's class leading, yes.
That's a lot, because we all go to Costco or wherever we go, or camping, whatever you do, and there's never enough stuff. Never room for whatever it is you bring with you every day.
Yeah.
And there's a spare tire, which I was really pleased to see, because not all the competitors have that.
And 39 inches of rear seat legroom, which I believe is also class leading. And as a fellow 6-footer, I sat in the back seat and was happy to do my shot from back there for my video and show them the rear USB ports that are right there on the side of the front seats, but also that I had so much space back there.
So we drove the X line, which is the gloss black front, which is beautiful. Actually, it's my personal favorite. The black wheels, which are available in 18 and 19 inch. And of course, in the entry level, it's going to be slightly different as you work your way up the trim levels. But just the black details, I think it looks more aggressive, more rugged. And I think, of course, and it does have the drive modes too when you buy X-Line.
So I love the terrain mode, all-terrain mode. X-Line, when we do clinics, people love that, right? They're willing
Snow
to pay,
for sure.
Willing to pay a little bit more because it just accents, as you said. A lot of people like the black wheels, which is great, and it gives the appearance that this thing can go wherever it wants to go. Most people will never take it off-road.
True.
But if you want to, you can, and you look good doing it.
8.1 inches of ground clearance on the top trim level.
That's good for snowy country where I live, not where you live in warm country.
Yeah, I know. We're in Newport, and it doesn't really snow much down here. But the piano black on the wheel wells and the gloss black roof rack rails, very, very attractive looking vehicle. But then what I was even honestly more impressed by, Russell, was when we got back to the hotel, I was able to take out the EX, which is total mid-grade one, and that one you still get the leather, you still get the dual zone climate control. This was a front-wheel drive model, and it's got the less powerful engine, and it's got the CVT.
So it's got a 2-liter engine instead of the 1.6-liter turbo that we test drove.
Right. So the turbo is 190 horse, 195 pound-feet. The 2-liter non-turbo is 147 horse, 132 pound-feet.
Very good. You have a good memory. He's doing this off the top of his head.
And I'm trying to picture, it's like, what's this going to be like? And of course, it was front-wheel drive only, which that's all you need in Southern California. As we're just saying, you don't need the all-wheel drive. So I don't know if it's because it was a little lighter, maybe it's just the tuning of the drivetrain, but it felt more sprightly in a good way than I expected it to. And I loved the kind of Wedgwood, almost blue color that it had. And it still had the upgraded material on the seats and the dual zone automatic climate control. And I just got into it and I thought, this basically feels as premium as the total top trim one we were just in, but it only cost $31,800, including destination. So I felt like you're getting a lot of car for the money, which again, feels very Kia-like.
Yeah, yes, I think the nine exterior colors, I believe, 6 new ones.
6 new ones, 9 exterior. So you got to drive both in the X line is all black interior, and then Syntex leather, and then the one you got to take out was one of the two tones.
Yes.
Right? So it had a kind of a white up top and a gray bottom, and again, just choices.
Nice looking.
We're constantly trying to figure out ways to give customers choices.
I think the key to, there's 2 things that I know people get in Kia products and they want them right away is the turn signals. You put on the turn signals and those blind spot cameras is a winner all day long. I can't believe that the average competitor hasn't even tried to come there. They haven't even tried. And when you get in the vehicle, that to me, that seals a deal. And also the 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty. I think that is what consumers want.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's still one of the bigger things that people say gives me a confidence. I'll never need it. More and more people are saying, I'll never need it. It's just nice to have, and there's no reason for us not to, because our cars are built great.
Yeah.
And it'll be wonderful.
Excellent. Well, that's great. Well, thank you for letting us come out and drive the cars here in Newport Beach, California. Not so bad.
I know it was a little bit of a hardship for you coming out
I
here.
know. It's okay.
Not that far for you. But
I had to drive like 28 minutes to get here. I just want everyone to know.
Well, you know what? I think I'm going to ask you one question. So we drove way out across the hill into the valley for 106 degrees.
Yes.
Yeah. Interior, I was, cool snow.
Vented seats.
Yeah, we had
that
the
was the
ventilated
key.
front seats and a very effective. I mean, I was actually getting cold, and I was like, "Well, this is a good sign that I'm actually having to turn up the temperature because I'm getting cold, and I'm looking at the outside temperature, going, okay, it's fairly well sealed and does its job here."
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Well, thank you. Make sure to take one for a test drive at your local Kia dealer. They're all over the place, and I think you're going to see a lot of these on the road. So thanks so much for the invitation. We'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to The Drive with Lauren and Karl. This segment is brought to you by Classic Tube. Whether you're restoring a car or you want to keep the vehicle you have, look at our pre-print products at classictube.com. It's CLASSICTUBE. We do classic tubes as well as modern cars, anything from the 20s all the way up to current. If you need replacement brake lines, fuel lines, transmission lines, or even custom lines, we can make them for your street rod or for your daily driver. Check out classictube.com, all made in America. All right, Karl, you were talking about iSeeCars in the previous episode as you brought us in, and there's a new study coming out. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so we just did a look at used car pricing. That's one of our areas of expertise. And what we noticed that was fascinating was the last 3 months, guys, used car prices have gone up in average price every month. And probably don't have to be too much of a detective to figure out what might be driving this. But we have seen, of course, big spikes in gas prices for the last few months. And I had a lot of people, you probably did too, Lauren and you, Al, call in and saying, "Oh, what's going on with gas prices? EVs are hot again, huh?" And the first week or two, I was like, "No." And if you're looking for me to give you data on that, I'm not going to have it for you. A, it doesn't change that quickly, and B, and if it does, it wouldn't be reflected in the data yet. You're going to have to show some patience. But if they stay high, if gas prices stay high, it probably will change the way people are buying and shopping for new and used cars. Well, gas prices have stayed relatively high for the last 3 months, as we know. And sure enough, we're seeing more demand for used electric vehicles. And it's just been fascinating.
Electric used vehicles? Wow.
Yeah.
Like, what would
Used
you
electric
buy?
vehicles.
What would you want? What vehicle would kind of be a good price point? I mean, you don't want to buy a $100,000 used EV. I think you might find yourself with a big bill down the road.
Well, the average price for a 1 to 5 year old used EV was $31,984 in April, and that was up 2.7% from March. Then it went to $32,467 in May. That was up 5.2%. These are over compared to a year earlier. So it was up 2.7% from a year earlier in April, 5.2%, exactly double. The next month, actually almost double, it should be 5.4, but it was 5.2% in May, and then it was up 7.4% in June.
Wow.
So every month, not only has the price of used electric vehicles on average gone up, but it's gone up more than it had gone up the previous month compared to a year earlier. So you're seeing a real shift, obviously, in demand. And you asked the right question, though, Lauren. It's like, well, what are people buying? Again, if these average prices are swinging from around $31,900 to $33,500, which is what they've done since April, they've gone from $31,900 to $33,500. They're not buying, obviously, super expensive cars if that's the average price. And when we looked at the cars with the biggest price gains, not just electric, but just all cars, all used cars with the biggest price gains in June compared to a year earlier. Well, in the top 10, there were 4 Teslas. Teslas made up
Hmm.
4 out of the top 10 cars that have gone up in price since a year earlier. The Model X was number 1 out of all the cars that have gone up over the last year. The Model 3 was 5, the Model S was 7, and the Model Y was 9.
Interesting.
So we don't even include the Cybertruck because it has to be 1 to 5-year-old used cars to be in this thing, and the Cybertruck hasn't been around long enough. So all the cars that could be, all the Teslas that could be considered as far as used cars and checking the prices, all 4 of them that could be considered were in the top 10 for going up in price.
So looking at the corners of the
it's wild.
country, you're in California, I'm in New York, and Al, you're in Miami. What are you
Mhm.
seeing in Miami as far as gas prices and electric vehicles? Is that something you're seeing a higher draw?
The gas prices here are lower than California, obviously, but not as low as Georgia, for example.
Mhm.
So we are averaging between 3 and 4. It goes up and down. But talking about used cars and what's selling, I work with a used car dealer here in Miami, and they were never into EVs. Now they selling EVs like crazy,
Really?
and they're all Teslas.
Yes.
And I'm
Really?
surprised because I'm always talking that I don't like Tesla, and they know I don't like Tesla. And last week they had me do a Tesla reel. I said, "You bring me here to do this." I said, "Oh, they're selling like crazy. People come here, they want to use Teslas." I said, "I can't believe it." So it is selling like crazy, Teslas.
So that's Rhino Auto Sales you work with, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
And they're in Miami, so you can get cars from them anywhere in the country. I mean, that's not a bad idea if you're thinking about getting a good deal.
They do sell
California,
to
the
a few
price is
people.
high.
Yeah. They do ship cars sometimes our state, but I'm surprised that they're selling Teslas, and this never happened before. It's that people come, they want Tesla, now they have like 15 there, and in and out, in and out.
Are they selling other electric vehicles like Kias and Hyundais?
No, no.
Really?
People are asking for Teslas.
That's all they
Yeah.
want. Interesting.
I don't know why. I had no idea because I've never been a fan, so I don't know.
And
So you
everything
got
you
to
just
drive
said,
one at least. So
yeah, they got you in one because of that. And everything you just said, Al, ditto, right? Like I'm not a fan necessarily. I don't know. I don't think I dislike them as much as I used to, but I still have no plan to go get one, mostly because among other things, they're everywhere here. And I have a rule. I cannot drive a vehicle and see myself every, 30 seconds or less. And the white Teslas in South Orange County is like a virus, it's like a swarm and it's like, oh my God. But prices here are still stupid. They've gone. I've paid into the sixes. Last time I paid, I think it
wow.
was 550 or 580. I always have to put premium in all the cars I own, so I get hit extra hard here. But I can't believe that the Teslas specifically. I mean, actually, I should say I can believe it because the data is always the same, guys. Tesla is like an enigma. The rest of the used car market can go up and down, and it will with everything from incentives to gas prices to political way the wind's blowing. Tesla is like this rock. They just keep selling kind of no matter what. So it really shouldn't surprise me, and I guess it doesn't, that they are 4 of the top 10 cars in the used market, not top 10 EVs. All cars looked at for going up in value in the past year, 4 of the top 10 Teslas.
Wow. That's amazing. I mean, I think that's what people are looking at. I mean, personally, if you told me I had to buy an electric car, I'd probably buy a Hyundai Ioniq 5, or a Kia
I like that one.
EV6. But
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, electricity is so expensive here in New York State that you might as well buy gasoline. So we have a
Same in
problem.
California.
Yep.
Same in California. I look at what it costs to fill up here on an electric car, and it's like I'm not really even saving money. So,
You're not
all
saving
right.
money.
Well, this was
Sorry.
yeah. Well, yeah. You're saving money because maybe you don't have to spend as much time if you plug it in overnight. Who knows? But all right. Well, we're going to come right back for another segment with Al and Lauren and I, and we're going to look at more things going on crazy in the car world. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to The Drive with Lauren and Karl. We've been talking about a lot of things going on in the auto industry, from new cars that are being offered in gas and in hybrid and turbocharged to the electric vehicle market and what's going on. But there's been an interesting announcement from a very large car company, which is Honda. And Al Vazquez, who is our guest for this hour, has been with me on a lot of drives, and he and I drove the Prologue together. And I know, Karl, you drove it as well, and it's going goodbye. What do you think, Karl?
I probably shouldn't say good riddance
You can
out
be
loud.
honest. You can be honest. Our listeners want you to be honest.
It's funny. I'm a big fan of like a cool blue color, and I thought that the Prologue's blue that I saw them in, I was like, oh, look at that thing. And as soon as I got in it at NACDOI testing a couple of years ago when it first came out, I was a tad disappointed, and I'll just use that as my
You're
description for now.
kind.
Yeah, no, the interior did not look up to Honda standards, and that's probably because it wasn't really a Honda, it was a General Motors product. And General Motors has a history of maybe not getting the most glowing reviews for their interiors. And I was just like, man, Honda attached their brand name to this vehicle, and the interior looks like not just a Chevrolet, but not even a very well executed Chevrolet. I just didn't like the interior quality, finish, look at all. And I knew it
Because
was
it
not
is
a
a
Honda
Blazer.
inside.
It's exactly a
Yes.
Blazer with a Honda interface. That's it. And a badge.
Ugh,
I don't think they did many other
yeah.
changes, did they?
And the shape of the body. But I mean, what did you think of it, Al?
Well, when I first I never understand why a company would share so much to make two different cars, and it's at the end it's only one car. They only do a few tweaks. I don't know why they do that, because one of
Right.
them it will be damaged. I think the same of Toyota and the Supra. But anyway, going back to the Honda, uh, for me, I have the same thing. When I sit in the car, I say this is a GM car because it looks exactly the same. Outside,
Mhm.
I don't know. I drove it. For me, my YouTube channel is like the meter of if a car is liked or not. And my numbers were low on that car. I said, well, this is
Really?
I
Interesting.
didn't know it wasn't gonna make it, but now we know. But I guess electric cars are doing that everywhere, so
Mhm.
it didn't surprise me. No.
Big changes. You know, you and I rode together in that car, and I've ridden in millions of cars like you and Karl have. I actually felt nauseous in the car, and I couldn't figure out why. And it was something to do with the windshield. I had a conversation with my husband, who's also an engineer. I'm like, I have never been in a car my entire life, and I've been in cars from the 50s all the way to current production cars, and I've never felt nauseous. I don't know if you remember me saying that to you, Al. I said, geez, I don't feel
Yeah, I
great.
remember.
And
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out why. It has to do with the glass. If it has too much of an arch in it, it can cause you to get like
Mm,
dizzy. And it's almost
yeah.
like it was a weird feeling. And I thought, there's something weird with this car. And I couldn't put my finger on it. But I didn't feel that when it was the Blazer. Maybe they had a different windshield they put on it. But whatever it was sort of a sign of the times, wasn't it?
Well, and we were just talking about EVs going up in value on the used market, right?
Mhm.
But now we're sitting here and our listeners can be like, what? So are EVs good or bad? So Teslas, as I was saying before, Tesla's like their own kind of enigma within the car world, and they just kind of sell well no matter what's going on. Every other brand, especially once the incentive went away, but really we were hitting a saturation point with the market even before the incentive went away, almost a year before. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, but that's what had happened. And I see a lot of car companies pulling back, right? I mean, Honda is now canceling the Prologue. They've already canceled three other upcoming EVs that never even made it to market, like the Prologue did. And they're claiming it's going to be up to about a 15.8 billion with a B loss. And they are not a
Wow.
ginormous automaker. You hear 10 or 15 or 20 billion loss from Volkswagen or Ford or GM. That's not a good number for any car company, but those are giant companies. You talked about how Honda's a big company. They're a relatively big company in the US. Globally, though, Lauren and Al, you guys know this, they're not that big. And when they lose 15.8 billion, that hurts. There was a recent vote and they were like going to see if they were going to kick out the guy who runs it. I can't remember his name, but the head guy was threatening to be kicked out by the board because of this kind of money loss.
That's huge.
So it's a huge mess for Honda and it's unfortunate. And now we're hearing they're going much more aggressively on hybrids
Smart.
because guess what? People buy hybrids, they won't buy EVs. And I think you'd mentioned something, Lauren, about GM is going back to not just even hybrids, but internal combustion after saying they were all on the EV train, right?
Right. It's funny because, the day that we're recording this, and we do record these shows a little ahead, they were saying that, the all EV isn't going to work for Cadillac. We're going to still offer some gas product. I wish they would do like the Lyric and all the cool design Cadillacs as gas, which means it'll probably just be the Escalade, but, and maybe the CT5 if they're still going to make it. But a few changes. I mean, I don't know. What are you seeing in your world, Al?
Well, I do like these GM electric SUVs, and I thought that they were prepared to put a gas engine in them just in case something happened. I don't know if they can do that or not. But even with noise EV, people ask me, "Is it gasoline? Is it this? Is that?" So I think they're pretty. I like them. All these big EVs, I like them. So I hope they save them somehow.
The
Yeah.
styling is
Think
great.
about this.
Yeah.
Think about this list of EVs that we would love if they had gas engines. The Volkswagen ID Buzz. I'd
Yep.
actually potentially buy one of those if it was a
Oh
hybrid or a
yeah,
gas powered one.
yeah.
The Lyric, beautiful car, drives
Beautiful.
well, love it. Would love to see it with a non-electric motor and battery in
Ionic
it, you know.
5,
The Ionic 5.
EV6. Yeah.
Yes, EV6. There's all these beautiful, well-engineered electric cars, and it's like, man, If it wasn't electric, I'd love that thing.
Even the Ford Mach-E, which we always give a tough time to because it's not a Mustang and it can look all it wants. But if they put a hybrid engine in that, I think they would
Right.
actually sell it. It's more like a C-Max at that stage, but they might actually sell them. But I don't think they made that design decision. A few brands did. Now we heard from Kia and Hyundai when we've talked to some of their executives that they kind of make them like Legos. What do you want? We'll just put a different hat on top.
Right.
But that's
And
not the
that's what's
case with everyone.
smart. That's the smart thing and all. And that's where, like, I remember when Kaniskas years ago told me, looking at the Banshee concept car at the Detroit Auto Show, and he said, Carl, I can put an internal combustion engine in that too. And here comes the Charger all EV, struggles a little bit. And now here comes the inline six Hurricane version, getting great reviews from people. And of course, with the change in both political and regulatory winds, we're going to get a V8 version. And nobody at Dodge wants to talk about that because they're trying to sell some Hurricanes. And they know if everyone knew there was a V8 coming for sure, they'd probably wait and not buy the Hurricane one, which is getting really good reviews. I think it's a great engine. Remember, that was going to be their engine for the Charger and the Challenger. That was all they had to go on, they thought. So they made it really well. But now it's a great inline six, and there's also going to be a V8 coming back. So
Have you driven both of those, Al? The electric and the
Yeah,
gas version?
yeah,
And what do you
yeah.
think?
I really like it. Well, I always, if you give me both versions, I'm always going to go with the gas, because for me, every time I see it on an electric car, for me, it's the same. No changes.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's a Porsche or what it is. It's the
Right.
same. You sit inside.
Yeah. There's no
You said that to
differentiation.
me on camera, Al. What did you say about being blindfolded? I'll let you say it.
Yeah, if you are blindfolded and they put you in an electric car, it doesn't matter what it is. You're just going to go and drive it, and I can tell.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
tell.
They're all the same.
Until you crash into something because you're blindfolded. But yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. I always say it's like dancing with your sister.
Yeah. So I let Al say that on camera on my Car Smarts channel. I put those up on my reviews, and I leave it in there, Al. I mean, he does do have some good sayings.
Well, and certain brands, the customers will want to dance with their sisters. Porsche, Dodge. These are not the brands that you can hang your hat on, the EV hat holder. You're going to be in big trouble, and they're both learning that, thankfully. So, all right, we're going to stop and take a break, but we will be back on The Drive with Lauren and Karl and our special guest Al Vazquez. Welcome back to The Drive with Lauren and Karl and our special guest Al Vazquez. This segment is brought to you by Karl Brauer Cars. That's where I'm putting up new videos on a regular basis. Everything from a Kia Seltos to maybe a Lamborghini Temerario and everything in between. And I think, speaking of everything being recorded, see how I did that? Such a smooth transition.
Nice transition there. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just so smooth. We are all being recorded. Apparently, this is just flying around, and it's perfect to call it that because these are flock cameras that are essentially starting to become very aware by the average consumer, and it's not a happy awareness. People are starting to realize that this is somewhat invasive, and we never agreed to this, which seems kind of screwy. We did not sign up for having that level of government oversight and government tracking, and it feels a little bit like an unreasonable search and seizure violation.
You
of
mean
our
Fourth
First
Amendment rights?
Yes, that Bill of Rights number right there in number 4.
Yeah.
And people are starting to react. That's the interesting thing, is that people are not going into that night softly or meekly. They're starting to put up a real fight here.
Good.
But that's what I'm hearing. And apparently, if anyone says anything other than flock cameras are great, they're a terrorist, according to Flock's CEO. But that's all I'm
We're
seeing.
worse
What do
than
you guys
Antifa.
see?
Remember that, according
Yes,
to
we're
the
worse than
CEO of
Antifa.
Flock. Another
Yeah.
punk in a T-shirt telling us that we're the bad guys.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
these cameras are everywhere. Our Fourth Amendment rights are being violated. The cameras are not just on street corners reading license plates. They now tell you everything about your car, your bumper sticker. Do you have who's in the car? But these cameras are not just at street corners, and they're also collecting your Bluetooth information through a company called Leonardo that uses something called Signal Trace. So everything you have, including your health ring, watch, your dog's collar, your AirTag, whatever it might be, everything is being tracked. And so we're starting to hear a lot of pushback from a lot of people, and that's you saying, you know what? I don't like this. And smaller cities like Pine Valley, New York have fought back and they've taken the cameras down. And bigger cities like Los Angeles said they're not going to work with Flock anymore, but they went to a more invasive camera instead. So there's a lot going on, and they were starting to put these cameras on FedEx trucks, on your local school bus, and I cover that on my Car Coach Reports channel, and also in areas that violate other amendments like firearm stores and hunting supply stores. Like, why do you need that? What does that have to do with my license plate? I don't know. What are you seeing in Miami, Al?
Well, in Miami, they're all over the place, which people are also complaining a lot because for us, this is communism. Why do they want to do that? Just told me and convinced me why you want to track my information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, everything I do. Soon they're going to put, well, now I know they're coming by your house with police cars and they point a laser and they can hear everything you say inside the house.
They're doing that in Miami?
They're doing that. They're doing that. I heard of it, and I'm gonna find out because I'm gonna send it to you so you know about it. So they
Yeah, we
will.
want to hear about that.
While
If you
you're
haven't,
talking, they
for
will know
sure.
what you're saying. Even when the police cars stop you and they're behind you, and you're talking to somebody inside the car before they come, they can hear what you're saying inside your car when they stop you.
Wow.
So you gotta
Wow.
be careful. So imagine
So
why
crank up that audio system when you're talking to your friend. Crank that up and lean over and talk to him
Whisper.
quietly
yeah,
with
why
the audio.
why
Like we
So,
used to
I
write
don't know.
notes as kids, remember, and pass them across at school. We're back to that now.
So I never voted. I never saw that on the ballot. Like yes
It
or
isn't
no.
on the ballot.
Yeah.
There's no law. There's no federal law. How it's working is the federal government is taking your tax dollars and the state governments, and they're giving it to local cities so that politicians can say, Al, Carl, we've made your city safer by having all these cameras here. You need to reelect me. And then the money that they take in goes not just to put up the cameras, but also they can use it for reelection, but they can also use that for programs and stuff that's going on in the city. So they think they're being heroes. Either they're being tricked or they're stupid or they're just being lied to. You can look at it any way you want to look at it, but the fact is, these cameras should not be there, and it's time to speak up and go to it happens local. You've got to go to your local board meetings, school board meetings, and find out why are these on school buses? Why are these on FedEx trucks? Why are these in my local community? I don't want it. And I'm sure it's in your area too, Carl.
Those who will surrender their privacy for security deserve neither.
Thank you, Ben
So
Franklin.
yeah, it's just not a good thing. And I think there's a lot of people reacting as they should because a lot of people are like, well, I'm not a terrorist, so why do I care? And it's like, so what you're saying is if you're an innocent American, these systems will never be wrong. You'll never be wrongly accused or wrongly pulled over. Oh, wait, I think all three of us know some other people that work in our industry with us, two of them in less than like a 2-week period, who got pulled over because the flock camera flocked up and identified the wrong car and said that it was a stolen car. These were press cars that these guys were both supposed to be driving, and they're getting pulled over by the police, multiple police, because they're in a stolen car, or at least that's what the police thought, because Flock screwed up.
I think that we're all going to have to be prepared for that. I usually don't print out those loan agreements that we get from the different brands, but it looks like we're going to have to start doing that now, both Al, Carl, and I, because we all get loan vehicles. I can't imagine being pulled over in Miami, and I'm sure it's different in California than where I am. I'm out in the suburbs of New York, so I don't know, Al. That could be scary.
I've been stopped 2 or 3 times.
Really?
And when they stop you in a press car, this car hasn't been sold yet, so it doesn't show up on the system. So right away, it's a red light for them. So
yes,
I had to call Drive Shop and call Detroit. I even had to call in Texas, the company that's there in Texas that because they stopped me and this car doesn't appear on the system.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How'd you get this car, buddy? It's not looking like very kosher from our computer thing. And
Oh,
of
I
course, the
opened my
computers.
YouTube channel.
Yeah, the computers are never wrong. So
Right.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with hopefully maybe a more upbeat topic on the drive with Lauren and Karl.
Welcome back to The Drive with Lauren and Carl. This segment's brought to you by Car Coach Reports. That's my news channel. We give you more in-depth information on what's going on from flock cameras to right to repair and so much information you will not hear anywhere else. Check out Car Coach Reports on YouTube. Also, the website is Car Coach Reports. You'll find all my content there. All right, Al, you're in Miami and Carl is in California. And there's something going on in California that I am glad I am not part of. Go ahead and tell us about it, Carl.
Hey, I can only think of one thing more fun than going to the DMV to take your driver's license test and that would be going to the DMV to retake a driver's license test because the state thinks you cheated. And maybe you did and maybe you didn't. But apparently California has become convinced that 11,000 people cheated on their driver's license tests, and they all have to come in and retake it. And they told them they have 30 days. So think about the load on the DMV at any given point in time, and then add to it a 30-day, 11,000 additional people need to take a driver's license test in a 30-day period. I don't know how easy it is to schedule your driver's license test. I haven't had to do it for several years.
Not in New York, it's not easy. Yeah.
I can only imagine what that's like. And I'm curious how they would have cheated on their test and what set off California. But Al, you said you've heard various supposed ways that people could cheat on these tests.
Well, yes. In Miami, one of the things that surprised me is that you can take the test in Spanish, but when you drive, everything is in English. So are you qualified? Just started that. Plus, I know people that were put on a meta glasses, earpiece, somebody's outside, and they're looking at the page or at the screen, do this, do that, and they pass the test.
So yeah, those are the scary people that run red lights that we see every day that we all see.
So they're transmitting the test in real time to outside, someone who can see what they're looking at, and then they've got the earpiece to say, oh, you want number C on that one. You want letter C.
That's it.
Wow.
I know that because I know somebody who did that. I'm not going to say who it is, even if somebody.
They really did that, and they obviously they passed. But are they terrible drivers?
They pass. So there you go.
Wow,
man.
And we all complain about the drivers on the road. I'm a huge fan of retesting. I think, and I'm over the age of 50, so I'll admit that. But I think at 50 you should take it again at 60, and then maybe 70, and then maybe after that every 5 years. I mean, my mother-in-law's in her 80s, and she scares the heck out of me as driving super slow, misses things,
I think
slow reactions.
I think it should be every 5 years for your whole life until you hit 65, and then it should be like every 4, and then at 70 or 75 it should be every 2. I really think that
it'd be a good money maker for the state too. Jobs.
I've seen people, believe it or not, people don't age from 78 to 80 the way they age from 28 to 30. You age a little differently at that point in your life, and to go for years without retesting, well, I've seen enough. And my parents, both of them, toward the end of their life, I watched it, and it was like, these people should not be driving anymore, but there's no one telling them they can't because it's been years since they went in for their tests. So.
Oh, trust me, my uncle's going through this right now. They took his license away and they told him he could take it again. He failed the vision test, but they're going to let him take the actual driver's test again. I don't know how. We'll see how it goes. I'll have to report back to you.
Oh my gosh, maybe get LASIK or something. I don't know.
Oh, well, he's in his 80s, so I don't think he's eligible for that. Honestly, he should just get a driver or Uber or whatever, but he doesn't have a smartphone. So again, these are the kind of things that everybody has to deal with. But as far as the DMV, I always wonder about these tests, and it's changed a lot since we all learned to drive, and many people learned to drive when they were 16. So you took the class, you went to the driver's ed. When we took it, it was with your gym teacher or your English teacher or something, right? And then after that, you never take anything again. And I think the technology has changed so much and how all these safety systems work that most people don't even have a clue.
Yeah. When was the last time you took a driver's test, Al?
A long time. I don't remember. A long time. But I can take it anytime because my vision is perfect. I drive every day, as you know. So I can take it anytime. I don't mind if they make me take it yearly. I'll do it. I don't care.
How is that in other countries, Al? I mean, you've been all over the world. You spent a lot of time in South America and Central America and the Dominican. What do the other countries do for that?
Some places I go to, they say you stop at a light and you look to the right and the left, and maybe only one of the three of you has a license.
Wow.
So there you go.
That's right. That's how it works. All right. Well, this has been a fun show. Al, thank you for joining us here today. We had a lot of fun, covered a lot of interesting topics, and we will be back next time on The Drive.
And check out Al's channel, Al Vazquez TV. He's all over the internet. He's awesome.
Yes, check out Al's channel. He's got a strong reach and he drives everything, everywhere. All right. We'll see you soon, guys.
You've been listening to The Drive, your trusted source for the latest car news, expert reviews, and real insights into the automotive world. Thanks for riding along with us today. You can check out the entire archive of every episode on our YouTube channel, The Drive with Laure and Karl. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode, and join the conversation by leaving your comments. We love hearing from you. Until next time, stay safe, enjoy the ride, and we'll see you right back here on The Drive.